Shalom. Allah start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to those for let this pushing truth across four corners of the earth, our faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'm one about back getting us sitting. This one going to, how the Lord Yahweh, Yahushua, you know, he has full control of, the outcome of what happens within rulerships. Um, you know, in the time of Pharaoh, Pharaoh, Egypt, which is Mizraim, Aram, the Lord Yahweh, he made himself known, to Pharaoh by way, Moses, to show his, his power that, there's only one true power that, to be feared, and, he showed Pharaoh, his show Pharaoh his power, by way of Moses, with the plagues he brought upon Egypt. And it's gonna be the same way, here in America, Babylon the Great. Most High Yahweh Shai is gonna show his power and wrath upon, these so-called white people, Edomite devils, these proud devils that think that they can't be touched, But, they're gonna get a rude awakening that there's a higher power that, they can't like, they always, I know the apostles will say, even like, really, it's from the song Nas got, I don't know how I forgot the name, but name of the song, right, from Nas. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I forgot the name of the song, but it's from Nas. But he says, your arms too short to box with the Most High God, right? So you Edomite so-called white devils, your arms are too short to box with the Most High Yahweh Yahushua. You ain't got enough, man. You ain't that powerful you think you is. And it's gonna be shown. When Lord Yahushua returns, and the chairs so-called your foes will bring you so-called white people, Edomites, out of the rulership, out of power. But I'm going to get into it, Romans 9:17. For the scripture has said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So, the Most High Yahweh, Most High Yahweh raised up, like I said, in Pharaoh, he raised up Pharaoh that, hey, to show his power, you was put in rulership by me. I raised you up and, to be put into rulership, and I'm bring you down by way of my power, and show that there's only one true power, and that, you're just a vessel that, was bought up, to be raised up, to have time to rule and be bought down. And that's gonna be the same way. That's gonna be the same way of the so-called white man, Esau, Edomite doubles in rulership right now. He gonna raise the Edomite devils to be in power. We're gonna bring them down. He gonna destroy them. You know, and like I say, in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shah is going to be declared. It's being declared. The name is being pushed out by the apostles and the elders, brother Red Millstone. But once when the Edomite devils go down, that name is gonna be pushed out more. Once the smoke clears, once the smoke clears from the wrath and destruction, the name will be pushed out more. Or the name of the Yahweh Bashan Yahweh Shah. That's the true power. Most High Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. Those names is gonna be pushed out and made famous throughout the earth. Once the so-called white man Esau my devils are done away with, the name Jesus are gonna be done away. That's gonna be gone. And then the name of Yahweh Shah is gonna be pushed out. Yahweh Shah. Those names are gonna be pushed out more. More throughout the earth and known. Once these so-called white people, Esau the mighty devils is out of rulership. But go to Romans 9:18. Therefore hath he, therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will harden, he harden. So most High Yahweh will have mercy on who you want to have mercy on. He gonna harden, he want to harden. So he gonna have mercy on the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are Israelites. In these times, and he gonna deliver his elect. But he hardening the Edomite devils that's in rulership right now, so-called white people, red people. So that they could fulfill prophecy. Like I say, nobody can resist the will of the Lord Yahweh Shah. What's done need to be done is gonna be done. You think that you can outsmart the Most High Yahweh Shah? You're not. You're not gonna outsmart the Most High Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah. You're not. But Romans 9:19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Like I just said, so who resisted the Most High Yahweh Shah's will? Who has resisted? When the scriptures, the word of the Lord needs to be is gonna be done. It's gonna be done. His will, the Most High, His will be done. Yahweh, His will be done. It's nothing that no one, there's could try to like I say, outrun, try to get away from the Most High Yahweh's will. No one. Because he created everything. He created me, created, he created everything. And I say the Edomite devils think that, they trying to be like the Most High. Man, I say, y'all ain't got enough power, man. Like I just said earlier, your arms are too short to box with the Most High Yahweh. But in this verse, Romans 9:2. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High God Yahweh? Shall the thing formed it say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? So, hey, I say Most High Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, hey, Yahweh, he created, Yahweh, he created everything. So, hey, if he wants something, if, he wants things how he wants it to be set up, that's his setup. If you set up to be, hey, the righteous, you set up to be the righteous. You set up to be the wicked, you set up to be the wicked. But in this verse, Romans 9:21, hath not the potter power over the clay, or the same lump, to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor. So like I was just saying, so Most High Yahweh, he set up, who gonna be, the ones that gonna be honor and dishonor, who gonna be the righteous, who gonna be the wicked. Yahweh Yahushua, it's been set up. It's been set up for the so-called Negro Latinos, which are Israelites, to be, the righteous, to have mercy. The elect gonna have mercy, because 2/3 Israelites, 2/3 Israel is not gonna have mercy in these times and be delivered by Lord Yahushua. But the elect is gonna have mercy. The 144,000 and 1/3. Hopefully, I'm part of righteous number to escape the rapid judgment of Lord Yahweh Yahushua. In these times. But you got the vessels of dishonor, which are the wicked so-called white people, red people, Edomites. They ain't gonna have no mercy about Lord Yahushua. Yahweh Yahushua. They're gonna be destroyed. Yahushua gonna return, bring these devils out. Like I say, gonna bring these devils out of policy, out of rulership. And then after 1,000 years of slavery, after 1,000 years of slavery, after 1,000 years of slavery, once they go into slavery, they're gonna be wiped, done away with. The nation of Edom are gonna be wiped out completely. No more of the so-called white people, red people, Edomite. No more nation Edom. The nation Edom, the nation of Edom would be no more. But go from this verse, Romans 9:22. What if the Most High Yahweh willing to sue his wrath, and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. So I said most of Yahweh Yahushua. I say Yahushua. These so-called white people, Esau, Edomite doubles, is the vessel fitted for destruction, man. So that Lord Yahushua, when he returns, gonna bring his wrath of destruction upon these wicked Edomite doubles, man. Their time of rulership is coming, running out, man. These days are flying by, man. The time is winding up. The days are definitely being shortened, man. And the Edomite doubles, they trying to get their NWO agenda, going. They want to, have full control of the people of this world. They want to microchip everybody, to get that chip, which is the mark of the beast, and insert it into people so they can have control and track and know what you're doing. Like I say, be like the Most High. They want to be like the Most High Yahweh. But like I said, they ain't got enough. They ain't got enough, man. You ain't got enough. You ain't that powerful, man. You ain't got enough power. You ain't powerful as you think you is. And that's why, and like I said, they thumbing their nose up. Their proudful way of think that they think that they can outsmart the Most High Yahweh, outthink and outdo the Most High Yahweh. You're not. You're not gonna outsmart the Most High Yahweh. Yahweh Yahushua. You're not. And nobody say these Edomite doubles, these so-called white people doubles, so-called white people red double Edomites, they got, they rude awakener. a time of, great destruction is going to come upon him by the Lord Yahushua when he returns. That's what's going to come to you, Edomite devils, a great destruction upon this place, America, Babylon the Great, man. Going to be wiped out, man. And other countries as well. But America, Babylon the Great, going to be completely destroyed, man. And you Edomites, like I said, you elite bankers, y'all gonna hide, but you elite bankers and you elites of Esau, Edom, y'all gonna hide and go to these bunkers. But y'all ain't gonna hide. It ain't gonna be long. You can hide, you can run and hide, but you ain't gonna get away from your judgment. You're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna get put in chains. You're gonna deal with that double cup of hardcore slavery. That's what coming. That's the future for you Edomite devils, man. Y'all not gonna get away. But so and off of this, I did not want to make this too long. Romans 9:23, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. So that's the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites. And like I said, all and 2/3 of Israelites that do die on this side, they will come back. Y'all gonna come back in the kingdom as babies. And like I said again, hopefully I'm Paul Russian number, to escape the wrath of judgment, Lord Yahushua, when he turns, and the things, the horrific judgment, that he had prepared for this place, America, Babylon the Great, before his return, the things that gonna happen, before his return is gonna get, very, it's gonna get very bad out here, by the judgment of Lord Yahushua. Gonna be Yahweh Yahushua gonna break down, then Yahushua gonna make his return, but like I say, it's all about, if you're in the number to escape that second death, which is gonna be the fire, which is gonna be the fire by the thumbing nuclear missiles, man. They're gonna come raining down on America, Babylon the Great, and the elect, the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites gonna get that deliverance by the Lord Yahushua, get that glory, get the new body and so forth. Those that kept their faith unto the end, that kept pushing, that kept believing in Lord Yahushua, didn't give up, didn't back down, then bow down to this system, then sell out, then they, you're gonna have the elect, the elect is built different in the faith in the Lord Yahushua, and believing on him until the end. They're gonna keep their faith no matter what, no matter money, or selling out, and they ain't gonna do it. And especially when the microchip, which is the RFID chip, which is RFID, which is the microchip. Excuse me, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Once it's made mandatory, you have the elect is not gonna take that. Like I said, the elect faith is built different. The elect faith, and not being afraid. If it come down to, you got to die for the faith of Lord Yahushua, so be it. But like again, you're gonna have men that's of the elect that's not gonna taste the death, because Lord Yahushua is gonna preserve the elect from the time of Jacob's trouble. All hell breaking loose out here in America, Babylon the Great. And then, let's say up to, say the martial law troops, and then, like I say, just enduring, and then, and like I said, the men of Lord, those men, the men of Lord that's going to be preserved, in these times going forward, going to be taken care of, the elect is going to have food, going to have, a place, a shelter, and so forth. They're going to be protected until the Lord Yahushua returns. And not saying that, men of Lord not gonna go through things, especially now, because scriptures say the righteous shall scarcely be saved, and I always say that because the scriptures say, the righteous shall scarcely be saved, because, you hoping that Lord Yahushua please deliver me, out of this situation, and if you're that righteous, if you're part of the righteous number, he will deliver you, of the righteous number of the elect of the so-called Negro Latinos, the elect. Israel, of the Israelites. But if you're not of that righteous number, you're not gonna be delivered. You had to just deal with the judgment of the Lord Yahushua in these times, man. And deal with his wrath and judgment. Once he returns, when the Lord Yahushua returns, and destroy America, Babylon the Great. But I didn't want to make this too long. So hope this was edifying. So again, like about praise and glory to Yahweh, about sharing Yahushua, about sharing Kakadash, to the apostle elders, to the Sisakan brothers, to the Fiyak Waf sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting with that shit. Shalom.